long before the age of dinosaurs, before flowers painted the earth with vibrant color, before birds soared through the skies, mammals roamed the land, or reptiles claimed their niches. There existed a world that would set the stage for everything to come. It was a world where plants dominated the land and insects reigned supreme in the skies. Giant dragonflies with wingspans rivaling hawks zipped through misty forests, while massive scorpions, some longer than your arm, prowled beneath the trunks of colossal trees. This was not the lush green jungle we know today. It was the first rainforest on Earth, a living, breathing engine that would rewrite the planet's atmosphere, reshape the climate, and lay the foundation for every ecosystem that came after. Today, we journey 359 million years back in time to witness the birth of Carboniferous Rainforest, where life took its first monumental steps toward the world we know today. To truly understand how this first rainforest formed, we have to imagine Earth before it existed. Roughly 370 million years ago, the continents were barren, unbroken landscapes. There were no towering trees, no colorful flowers, just mosses, liverworts, and tiny plants clinging to the damp ground. Oxygen levels were still low, barely supporting the tiniest of land creatures, and most life remained bound to the oceans, unable to venture far. Then, slowly but surely, a green revolution unfolded. Plants evolved a vascular tissue, microscopic tubes inside their stems, capable of transporting water and nutrients upward. This evolutionary leap allowed them to grow taller, stronger, and more resilient than ever before. For the first time, plants could reach toward the sun, stretching skyward in a competitive race for light. They could form forests, dense networks of life that would transform the land. The Carboniferous period, named for the massive coal deposits it left behind, marked the birth of a new kind of world. A hot, humid, oxygen-rich planet, dominated by plants and teeming with life. Welcome to the Carboniferous Rainforest, a vast, sprawling labyrinth of green, stretching across regions that would become Europe and North America. At this time, the continents clustered near the equator, bathed in almost constant rainfall and frequent tropical storms. Humidity hung heavy in the air, and mist curled around the trunks of towering trees like living smoke. Towering lepidodendrons, ancient relatives of modern club mosses, soared up to 40 meters high, their bark patterned in intricate diamond shapes. Some reached the height of a 10-story building, forming vertical forests that created dark, humid canopies below. Alongside them grew Sigillaria, another tree-like plant. Its tall, ribbed trunk bore scars from fallen leaves, giving the impression of enormous pillars in a cathedral made entirely of green. In swampy margins, calamites, ancestors of today's horsetails, formed dense bamboo-like groves. Their hollow stems swayed in the wind, creating a sound like distant drums echoing through the forest. And on the forest floor, a thick carpet of ferns and seed ferns sprawled across the damp soil, feeding a hidden world of decay, life, and nutrient recycling. Every fallen leaf, every dead stem, fed the swamp. Layer by layer, these remnants were compressed over millions of years into the coal we use today. This wasn't just a forest of plants. It was a world of monsters. With oxygen levels reaching though 35% post higher than the 21% we breathe today, life grew to astonishing proportions. Meet Meganeura, a dragonfly the size of a hawk. Its wings stretched nearly 175 centimeters across, allowing it to glide silently through the misty canopy. Its vision was razor-sharp, capable of spotting prey meters away, even in the dim, filtered light of the rainforest. On the forest floor lurked Arthropleura, a millipede-like titan. It could grow up to 2.5 meters long, slithering through leaf litter with armored segments that protected it from predators. Imagine stepping over a creature longer than most humans, the true lord of the undergrowth. Giant scorpions, known as Pulmonoscorpius, roamed the damp ground, feeding on smaller insects and early amphibians with venom strong enough to subdue their prey instantly. In shallow pools, amphibians like Crassigyranus and Eogyranus waited patiently, ambushing prey and bridging the evolutionary gap between fish and land dwellers. Every breath of oxygen was both a gift and a risk. With air this rich, lightning strikes could ignite entire swathes of forest in moments, creating blazing infernos that swept across the swampy jungle. Yet life always returned, more resilient than ever, continuing the cycle of growth, death, and rebirth. The first rainforest didn't just host life, it transformed the planet itself. Massive plants absorbed vast amounts of carbon dioxide and released oxygen on a scale never seen before. Scientists believe this surge in oxygen was the highest in Earth's history, enabling the growth of giant insects and setting the stage for future terrestrial life. These forests literally turned carbon into stone, burying billions of tons of organic material underground. Millions of years later, these layers became the coal and oil reserves humanity relies on today. At the same time, these ancient ecosystems formed the first soil networks. Fungi, insects, and microbes learned to break down fallen trees, recycling nutrients and sustaining life. For the first time in history, Earth developed a functioning carbon cycle, a delicate balance between life and atmosphere that would allow complex life, including humans, to eventually evolve. But even paradise can end. Around 305 million years ago, the supercontinent Pangaea began to take shape. Mountains rose, climates shifted, and seasonal droughts replaced constant rain. The lush equatorial swamps, dependent on endless moisture, began to dry. The towering Lepidodendron forests couldn't adapt. Their shallow roots and swamp-adapted biology betrayed them. One by one, the green titans fell. This catastrophic event, known as the Carboniferous Rainforest collapse, it was one of Earth's first major ecological disasters. Entire ecosystems vanished. Oxygen levels dropped dramatically, and many of the giant insects, unable to survive in thinner air, went extinct. Yet from the ashes came evolution's next chapter. Plants evolved new strategies to survive, developing seeds that could endure drought and harsh conditions. These were the ancestors of modern conifers, pines, and all seed-bearing trees. Life adapted and endured. 300 million years have passed. The fingerprints of that ancient jungle remain. Every forest, every tree, every breath of oxygen you take owes its existence to that first wild experiment in green. The Carboniferous Rainforest created the air we breathe, the coal we burn, and the environmental blueprint for all ecosystems that followed. It taught Earth how to balance life and atmosphere, how to sustain a planet, and while its trees are long gone, their legacy is etched deep in the rocks beneath our feet, in every black vein of coal and every fossilized leaf. So, the next time you walk beneath towering trees, remember that you are walking in the shadow of a forgotten world, a world that made all others possible.